Manchester City 3. Yes, 3. Nottingham Forest 0. I can't believe I'm saying that. But of all games that I was kind of holding out that we'd managed to pull a result, this was the one. But this sort of a result I was not expected. It's been a while since we kept a clean sheet. It's been a while since we won a game of football. So the fact that we won it pretty comfortably, looked pretty good for the most part as well. Not obviously top level stuff, not necessarily at our best, but a win is a win. Considering we haven't had many of those. So look, we take that. Course, we move on to an absolutely horrible run. I'm trying to get it in front of me as we speak. I know that there is Juventus in there. I believe that is next. Villa. Crystal Palace is actually next, and then it's Juventus, United, Villa. I mean, it's a horrible 4-game stretch. But we can take confidence from this. We can take a few signs from this game. And we can hopefully try and replicate it for our next few games. Maybe this is a springboard, who knows? But before I break this game down, if you do me a massive favour, and please leave a like on this video, it'd be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. But I mean, let's quickly get into it. I mean, look, first point that I want to make is that it's been coming. Law of averages. You can be bad. I mean, how many times have we seen teams down at the bottom? You can be bad, but you will eventually win. You will eventually get a game where things click and things go your way, and that's what happened today. But I feel like, obviously, credit has to go down to the players for sticking with it, and for still trying, and for not just giving up altogether, because it would be very easy to, given the run that we've had. But a lot of credit today, I feel, also has to go to Pep. I mean, he's had his fair share of criticism from me as well, given his team selections, his substitutions, and just various things, tactical decisions, and playing certain players in positions where they probably shouldn't be playing in and should be playing somewhere else. But I feel like today you got it spot on. I mean, in the thumbnail, if you've paid attention to that, you'll see Grealish is on it, and that's where I'm going to start with this. I mean, we saw Jack Grealish play as a midfielder, and as a deeper midfielder as well. It wasn't necessarily Grealish was in the 10. No, De Bruyne was in the 10. Grealish was almost like an 8. I mean, he drifted a lot, and he was still very high up, and we almost went back, genuinely, about 5-6 years ago to attacking midfield play. And it worked. It worked really, really well. I mean, this is a game where we've won 3-0, and Haaland hasn't scored, which is not something that, given our start to the season, that you thought you'd be able to say is that we've won a game and Haaland hasn't scored a goal. That just didn't look very likely at the start of the season. He looked like the only player that was capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. And there were more chances that we had that we maybe could have scored. A few good saves from the keeper, a few just put wide and poor finishing. But again, 3-0. Haaland hasn't scored. And Grealish was a big part of that. He adds another attacking creative threat. He carries the ball really well. Nice interchanges with Doku, where he overlap, underlap, and always find himself in a bit of space. And that is something that I feel like people have been waiting a long time for. I've been waiting a little bit for it as well, seeing Grealish in the middle. We've seen him basically just play off the left and off the left exclusively. Like that's been his position, that's been his role. But to see him in the middle is something that, again, I feel like we've been waiting for. And it's something to keep my eye on, something to keep your eye on as well, because I don't think that necessarily he did anything that was, majorly impressive or, man of the match worthy or anything like that. But it was a nice, calm, average sort of 7 out of 10 performance, of which is needed right now, because we haven't had many of those recently. And again, it's something that we need to take going forward, because I feel like with the defensive frailties that we've got, it's just almost impossible to solve. You can't solve it right. It is impossible to solve right now. With the lack of Rodri, and basically half of our defenders being injured, Ake going off Akanji was off at halftime. I don't know whether Akanji's was injury. I know Ake's was. Stones is out injured. I mean, it's just you're not going to be able to solve this defensively. So one possible solution in the immediate future is to score more goals, is to add more and create more opportunities to score. Going forwards, and if that means that you go away from using, your 8s and your 6s and playing Gundogan and Bernardo and Rico and Nunes, all 4 of them in the same team and playing a relatively flat midfield and deciding to go with 2 more attacking players, then I think that could possibly be a solution. And that's why, for me, Pep has to take massive credit. He went back to 4 centre-back. And then he went more attacking with his midfield selections, and it worked really, really well. And that's where he can take massive credit in that. The fact that he changed something, we've all been crying out for change. We've needed a change in the team because what we were running with clearly wasn't working. I suppose the only thing I'd quite like to see us do moving forward is, maybe add Savio in there in the front line. I mean, the run that we've got coming up maybe doesn't allow for us to go for that attacking because we are, away from home and playing some pretty big games. But again, if we're going to try and solve our problem with conceding goals and being a bit leaky at the back by just simply trying to outscore people and put the game to bed early on, then, maybe you could throw Savio in there because even though Bernardo Silva scored today, it wasn't bad. Excuse me. But Savio for me, Savio, Doku, either or. I'd like to see both. Just simply because I want to see something. I want to see us continue to try and experiment with something that can maybe solve our issues. And we did that today. I don't really think there's much to really read into it. It was fairly comfortable. It wasn't the most of exciting games. We didn't play fantastic overall, but we didn't need to. We played as well as we needed to get the result. Forest had a couple of decent opportunities that they didn't take. We had a few more opportunities and we did take them, and that's kind of just the pattern of the game. I mean, again, I don't want to read too much into what we're doing and say this is the answer and this has solved all our problems and the season's back on track, because I'd be lying if I was to say that, because it's just one game. But the addition of Kevin De Bruyne back into the team, playing with an actual winger in Doku, using another attacking option in Grealish in the midfield instead of, again, playing a bit flat. And it's meant that we've come out and we have scored more goals and had goals come from different areas other than just Haaland putting it in the back of the net. So that solves one part of the issue, which was, again, putting the ball in the back of the net. Anyone else but Haaland putting it in the back of the net was one half of the issue. The other half is defensively, but I don't think that's easily solvable. Again, clean sheet today, which is not something that we're used to, but I imagine on a different day with the opportunities that they had. I mean, Chris Wood had a 1-on-1 that he put wide. I imagine different day, maybe different opposition that we get punished and the game plays out differently, but it didn't. We did our job, and all we can do right now is take it one game at a time, because there's literally nothing else that we can do. Again, no hope from me of a title given the current situation and the fact that this squad needs major surgery. But who knows? FA Cup, don't totally give up hope, because, I mean, you never really know. But again, like I said, I'm not holding out too much hope. You can't just give in. And then just focus on, the immediate focus now is just keep plugging away at the league, trying to get as many points as you can. And then in terms of Champions League, I mentioned we got Juventus coming up. It's big games. We need to win some of those games, because if we don't, we might not even qualify. And it's looking like we might have to go through this playoff round, because I don't think, or it's very unlikely, it looks to me, that we will finish in the top 8 and get automatic qualification for the knockouts. So it's all about trying to just see what you can do. And then we get to January, and then who knows, maybe we sign a player. And, when we rethink from there. But as for now, like I said, until January hit, we're just going to see what we can do on a game-by-game basis. So that's my analysis. You let me know down in the comments what you think of this game, whether there was some things that you like what you saw, some things that maybe could have been done differently, something that you maybe want to see going into this game. Please leave a like when you're at this video. We massively appreciate it, and subscribe if you are new. And we will see you at the weekend for Crystal Palace.